So I'm not good at video games. My whole life, I've struggled to beat or get good at any type of game. Well, maybe not all types of games, but for sure first-person shooters and other competitive games like Smash Bros. I would be embarrassed when I would play Fortnite, for example, with my friends because I just couldn't keep up with them. No matter how many hours I put into the game or how many YouTube videos I watch on the subject, I can't seem to get much better. So today, as I make you watch me be bad at a little game I like called the Finals, we're gonna look at why this happens and how to fix it. A quick Google search led me to a 2010 article from the Cerebral Cortex Journal of Oxford Academic. It was called "The Striatal Volume Predicts Level of Video Game Skill Acquisition," written by Kirk I. Erickson et al. The researchers want to know if differences in brain structure affect the way people learn to play video games. They analyzed two parts of the brain: the corpus striatum, which according to Wikipedia is a critical component of the motor and reward system. It receives glutamatergic and dopaminergic inputs from different sources, which just means energy and happy stuff, and serves as the primary input to the rest of the basal ganglia. They also looked at the hippocampus, which is important for converting short-term memory into long-term memory, and helps with spatial memory for things like navigation. They had participants play a game called Space Fortress, which was developed by cognitive psychologists specifically for learning purposes. The game looks like it was made for the Atari and would give me a headache if I tried to play it. The researchers found that hippocampus volume did not predict improvement in the game. However, corpus striatum volume did. More specifically, the dorsal or backside of the striatum was linked with performance. The key takeaway was the bigger the dorsal striatum was, the faster the initial pickup of the game was, due to the larger surface area giving the participant more cognitive flexibility. So this was definitely a good start, but I wasn't as concerned with initial pickup. I was curious about later stage development. Another Google search told me the reason pro gamers are so good is because they essentially treat video games like jobs, which makes sense because it is their job. They have set schedules, dedicated times to practice skills, review footage, work with coaches, and strategize on how to get better. Basically, they train like pro athletes, except it's with a keyboard and mouse. Whether you think esports and regular sports are on equal terms or whatever is a discussion for another day. But the fact remains they treat video games like a traditional sport. An article by eAthlete Labs titled "How Are Esports Players So Fast? The Brain Science of Pro Gaming" does a pretty good job of explaining just that. The article says, quote, "When you react to something like an enemy coming into view, your brain has to receive a visual signal from your eyes, process what that signal means, make a decision to react, then send a new signal down to your muscles where your muscles contract. This whole process normally takes around 250 milliseconds to happen, which is literally faster than the blink of an eye. Of this 250 milliseconds, 140 of them is solely dedicated to your brain processing what's going on. Now this scenario is very simple, but if you add in a lot of complex layers like various sounds, different enemies, and other visual and sometimes tactile sensations, that processing time can go up a lot. This is where experience comes in. When you're new to a game, you have to process all this unknown information at once, whereas the pros, having already experienced these things probably millions of times, doesn't require as much processing time. This is how the pros are able to hit clips like these.
Tagged, I'm gonna be so tight, Layden, and it's gonna be all your fault. Press that shit, kid. Press that shit, kid.
Scrubs, you're all weak as fuck.
Oh my god! Oh!
To build this processing power, the article suggests to practice in uncomfortable scenarios that might push you to play not as well, such as playing with people who are much better than you or using a different loadout than you normally do. That way, your brain can create new neural pathways and help you learn more about the game and overall make you a better player. Now this all sounds great, but I definitely don't have time nor the patience to be practicing like a full-time job. And I'm pretty sure neither do my friends. If me and my friends are giving equal amounts of time to a specific game, why are they still so much better than me? Are some people just naturally better at video games than others? The short answer is yes. Similarly to traditional sports, some people are indeed just built differently. Pro athletes are usually faster, have more efficient muscle insertions for their specific sports, and biomechanically designed for the movements they are performing. In the esports world, pros tend to have better hand-eye coordination, better cognitive skills, and visual and perception advantages like being able to perceive rapidly changing frames on a monitor. And while we did discuss how to train to make this better, some people are just born with a natural advantage. So is there any chance of me becoming a professional gamer? No, but I can improve my gaming skills. Blair Marnell of Nerdist has a 2017 article titled "Science Tells Us How People Can Get Good at Video Games," which gives us some tips on how to improve. Marnell writes that a study done on participants playing Halo Reach showed that players who played 4 to 8 matches per week actually outperformed others across their first 200 matches. Thinking about it, even when I was younger, I was probably not hitting those numbers on a weekly basis, but my friends for sure were. Another study shows that pro players often use hotkeys to execute up to 200 commands per minute, which is a lot. So in conclusion, I am for sure never going to make it as a pro gamer, but I can play a few matches a couple times a week, train solo in different scenarios, and use hotkeys. So if you want to be a pro gamer, you probably can't, but if you want to not be bad at video games, don't do what I do because I am definitely not doing all this.